battery pack. I brought 3. That's what I was going to do. How this is how you can't change it. It's like battery. Not a PSP. I was looking for a PSP, but I couldn't get one. Otherwise, I tried exporting. Well, yeah, we just download. I said bus.
Dear Lord, we pray for a special blessing upon this bus, all of our students and teachers and parents who are coming along, and our bus driver. We pray for their safety as they journey along. We pray for their safety on their way home. We pray for their safety as they are in New Orleans, assisting and helping others.
Good evening, everyone. This is just like morning announcements. You can't see me, but you can hear me. You are incredibly special people on an incredibly special journey. You should be very, very, very proud of what you already have accomplished and what you are going to accomplish. We're very grateful to you, and we're very grateful to your parents. I also want to thank all of our staff members, and you know there's quite a few staff members here, and without them it wouldn't go. So in the best way to thank these wonderful people for giving up their March break, please, please adhere to what they're asking you to do. Wherever you go with others, and you take care of one another.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I can see.
I mean, you have done everything. I'm doing good. I'm just,
You look great.
well, that's good. Everywhere we would go, people would see our license plates, and they knew that we were from Louisiana. I was sitting on the grass in a shopping area, and a lady pulled up, and she said, "Oh, what beautiful dogs!" And she got out, and she and I got chatting. And by the time she left, she had given me a phone card. She had given me her home phone number, her cell phone number, and said, "When you come back through, you can stay at my house." She said, "I'll sleep on the floor, you can have my bed." And the generosity of people across this nation and across Canada was marvelous. And it was a wonderful experience to have these neighbors and friends and people reaching out that really understood and yet didn't understand, because this isn't something you can really grasp. It isn't something you can pull in. Some people have just left and moved, but there's this still core of people that say, our roots are here. This is where we raised our children. This is where we were raised. This is where our grandparents lived. They feel an ownership to the land. They feel an ownership of their culture and of their place. And they will do whatever it takes to rebuild. They've rebuilt before in other times, in other hard times. And these are hard people. These are tough people. And they'll do whatever it takes to rebuild.
like to make a little introduction. This is the first place that they have visited in New Orleans, so, and there's one word that I would like you to remember your visit today. People from the bayou are called Boogaloo. So now I speak Boogaloo. And I would like to welcome all of you. Eh? From Canada, eh? Our parishioners have talked together about serving them Louisiana cuisine, local food. So again, I'm not from here, but it took me a while to really have the taste of the Louisiana food, and it's the best in the world.
We'd like to leave behind with you one of our flags, which has been autographed by all of the people here today. And however, I guess you choose to fly the flag, it will allow you to at least remember a little bit that these young people were here at this particular time. Now, we didn't want to bring dollars with us. When we get back home, we will mail to Father a check for $7,500. But those are Canadian dollars. And so depending on when you cash that check, you may take that applause back because you may say, we're not sure where it's going. But anyway, that's from us to you. So thank you, Father. About 5 months ago, somebody in my own parish, our deacon, said to me, Brian, have you ever heard of a traveling chalice? And I said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, well, it's a chalice which has been blessed in a mass. The families keep it in their homes for 1 week, and on a Sunday, the particular parishioner who has it takes it on to the next person in line. And so what we have done is we have gone out and purchased a chalice. Our wonderful singing priest, Father Dave, who by the way would have loved today with all the singing you guys did. But he blessed it at a mass at a retreat which we had prior to coming here. The box was constructed by our construction teacher at the school, and so we are leaving the chalice here with you and allow you as a community to determine what your intention should be, what the prayers attached to that intention should be, and however you wish to work with Father to see that you people have your traveling chalice.
So you don't realize how much it means to all of us. So again, thank you, and we will be with you in your journey through our prayers, always.
Well, Chris Mueller, what do you have to say about this mass?
Well, I thought it was quite well done. Music was excellent, as usual. They got the colors right, too. It's nice. And, you know, you got to go out there, give it 110%. And I think we did that today, and pretty proud of the team. We're here to help the people of New Orleans. We're here to bring a little hope, to sort of start a change, I guess. At the same time, though, I think we're building our own community as a team and as a school.
I'm here to help people who need help. You know, they went through a tough time. I figured if Ajax went through a tough time, people from New Orleans would come help.
It's definitely not going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but we are coming in with the mindset knowing that it's going to be tough. So I honestly don't know what to expect at all.
I'm hoping I'm going to see a lot of things I've never seen before, become a little bit more aware of what I have and like how fortunate I am to have what I have.
I don't feel like I'm giving up my vacation, and this is probably the best thing I could be doing with my time.
I'm really more interested in seeing what the damage is like, because I guess we saw on all the news feeds what the media wanted us to see, but I'm more interested in seeing it through the people that live here, through their eyes, just so that we get a real sense of how real it actually is.
Kids seem to be enjoying themselves. First 2 days, they don't know what to expect, so it's holiday for them. I understand that. I hope that they can make the transition starting this morning to a whole different ball game. This is why they're here now, and see if they can move away from enjoying a holiday and now going to work. But they look ready. They look ready.
Tons of mold everywhere. You can see the water line. It's about my shoulder, just below my shoulder height. I'm 5'6". The windows are broken. This carpet. Obviously there's an area rug at some point. Wow. So all this sheetrock, look at the floor. Just mud everywhere. Look at the water purifier in the sink. It's so moldy that the wallpaper is just peeling right off the walls on its own. Mold is all over the place. The beautiful old beams in this house. This fireplace. This was once a gorgeous house. Look how that ceiling fan is just broken from the heat of the water.
Pull these guys together. Oh yeah, everything is still here. And this lady is probably going to talk to you. So this particular group of people are there. Guidance. Come on in.
This stuff's sticking out. How's the homeowner gonna be here?
That's that black lady.
Oh, she's there. Okay.
She's here.
The one that was
The one I said hello to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going in and out the doors.
Yeah.
If there's yard work or things around the yard, at least we gotta watch so we're not bumping into one another.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be.
Pay real close attention to what she wants to do.
Just set it off to the side. If you can, set it off to the sidewalk. Put it back in the house. You guys have your mask on? You can walk there?
Punch. Okay, we're going inside. We got work to do, boys and girls. Let's go.
The contractor, we don't touch it.
Okay.
Doors, hinges, everything in. Just try and keep your piles, you know, if you're in the hallway or if you're in this main room, try and keep the pathway to the door clear so people can get in and out. But you want to spread out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any means no entry. And then at the bottom, they usually put a number, and that's a number by found dead or alive.
It's hard. You know, sometimes it's hard just to get up out the bed, especially when you live in a house that you may be the only house on the block. You know, then you wondered if your neighbor got out, if they're still alive. I have a friend who was friends for 26 years, and I still don't know where she is. You know, I heard she was alive because she was on a roof for 5 days. I said, Lord, please do not let my mother die without me in a strange place, because she was taking chemo during the time.
Right.
And she said, Kathy, I'm old, I'm dying from cancer. Take my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, get out of the city. And the hardest thing I ever had to do, I had to leave my mama. And when I called back that Tuesday, the nurse said that the water was coming up. So I called, by my son being in the military, I called the National Guards. And she said, don't worry, it's a VA hospital. We're going to get our people out there first. And at night, they sent the helicopters in. But I didn't know where they put her at. And for 2 weeks, I didn't know where she was at. And I got a phone call from one of my friends. And they said, Kathy, your mom is on TV with President Clinton. In the next 48 hours, he flew my mother in on a helicopter to Memphis.
Amazing.
I was just brokenhearted that I couldn't get her back home, because she said her last words was, "Do not let me die in this strange place. You know, I don't have no friends here, no family here." And the doctor said, "Well, we don't have the facilities open in New Orleans. We just can't take care of her." So when my mother passed, I promised, you know, her to gravesite that I would come back. If I could put one older person into a house, at least I made my mama that promise, you know.
This is halfway through the house. See what we've done so far. All this, it's all from the ceiling. Fireplace is still intact, integral. And it's part of the structure of the house. You see now from the front door all the way through the bathrooms to the back. This used to be a bedroom. This used to be the kitchen. Cabinets, everything are garbage. Just everything gets pulled down to studs. You can see here there's a little bit of mold on the outside walls. Awesome.
Yucky. It's like raining brown stuff.
Oh, today was pretty hard. We woke up pretty early, didn't get enough sleep. We basically met at the house. It was pretty bad. Like, there was mold everywhere. The roof was eaten up. The walls were eaten up. Wallpaper was like curling. It was just old. With like the house was decayed. When we got there, we didn't know like we didn't even know where to start. So we just like dug in. It was pretty. I guess it was like once we got into it and we knew what we were doing, it went pretty fast. There was no furniture, nothing like that to take out. We just dug through the walls, took out the insulation. But once we took out the insulation, bugs, just huge roaches, like this big. And then when we tried to take apart the seating, it would like literally fall on you.
There was stuff everywhere. Like, and just to get in, we had to kick open the door because stuff was blocking the entranceway. And like because the very first thing we did was a tour. It was a tour of the house, a walkthrough of the house. It was a front and back entrance, and just to walk from the front to the back, you had to step over things, move the insulation that was hanging from the roof so it doesn't go in your face, and it was just an absolute mess.
We were in the 9th Ward today. We were there, and it was real to us when we got there. It was, till that point, it was a trip, nearly. It was a camaraderie of a football team going to New Orleans. And when we got there, we got out of the trucks, and we saw what we were dealing with. It was no longer a bunch of friends and a bunch of players going to New Orleans to experience New Orleans. It was a bunch of people going for relief to help people in need. And where the emotion and where the power came from was the people that we've seen in New Orleans. No matter what, not having anything, there's still hope.
Okay, today is the first day that we actually went out to do any work. And on the bus ride there, I think everybody sort of felt the same way. We were talking about it, and everybody had butterflies in their stomachs and kind of a sick feeling in the pit of their stomachs because we weren't really sure what to expect. And we drove through a section of town where a lot of the houses were pretty damaged, and they had the X's on the outsides, and we were looking and asking questions, and it was just scary. And we were the last group to be dropped off, so we had seen everybody get dropped off and seen some of the homeowners and things like that. And we finally arrived at our house that we were supposed to be working at, and the homeowner was already there. And we were really excited because we wanted to meet the homeowner. We thought that that would be special and we could make a connection in that type of thing. So the kids were pretty excited. We got out and we got our briefing and we went to work. A lot of the stuff had been removed from our house. There wasn't really any big furniture except for in the kitchen, but there was, I think, a bed in one of the kids' rooms and a few personal sort of things, and it was really sad, like it was scary. And then we went to work pulling all of the stuff out of the house, and we came across a lot of things that were pretty sentimental, photos and photo albums and kids' toys and pictures that kids had drawn for their parents and schoolwork and that kind of thing. And it just makes you really realize how that could happen to anyone. And the fact that it happened down here and not to us, I mean, we're at home and it's not on the news anymore, and we really kind of thought, like, it can't be that bad. But it is. And these people are frustrated, and they've been waiting and hoping, I guess, is the biggest thing, that somebody would come and help them out. So we cleared all the stuff out, knocked the walls down, and we're about an hour from the end of the day, and we decided to take a break. And we went outside and pulled the water out of the coolers and started to drink the water, and we heard this loud crash in the house. And a kid came over and said the entire ceiling just fell in one of the bedrooms. And literally 3 minutes before that, there were 3 kids in there shoveling debris into trash cans, and it could have been so much worse. Like, it was really scary. And the kids kind of took it lightly and realized that nothing had happened, but it was close, it was dangerous, and you really do get a sense of that what you're doing here is serious business, and it was scary. We called the supervisor of the site to check the house to make sure that things were okay to go in, and as it turned out, they weren't okay to continue. It was too dangerous. I think it was termites that had damaged the house so much that the wood was just literally dust.
Oh, okay.
Over here.
Are they taking you to another location?
I think so. I think that's where they're going to bury me.
Oh.
Put me in the roof.
Look at that. Oh my God. It's a W day.
The pile beside me is all her belongings. Yeah, that pile is everything that we couldn't keep. Everything from furniture, pictures, glass, personal belongings like clothing. And then this pile right here is everything that she's going to be able to keep and we were able to salvage. But actually it's more than we expected, so.
We're just inside the home here. As you can see, we've cleaned out a lot of this. Was the living room was initially filled with furniture with carpet underneath. We've got all that out, and the drywall, siding, and everything in this room at least is coming pretty good. We've got most of it down, and the ceiling yet has to come down, but basically we're leaving the home in a kind of a skeleton shell type of deal. There's a few larger items here, and looks like the living room area, or sorry, the kitchen. And there's again, the walls have come down. The kitchen area itself had a fridge, a toppled fridge that we got out, large fridge. There's still a dishwasher here embedded into the countertops, but the countertops can still come out as much as we can. The sink, some of the tile on the walls should easily come off. So right now we're trying to clean up the floor area. We seem to have a little problem with the rubble. The tearing down part's sometimes easy. It's taking out of the rubble that we just had a little bit of a meeting, and we're going to work a little more diligently in getting the things up off the floor, because that's the shoveling and the picking up part can be really difficult. So we're coming really good. This home looked a lot different yesterday morning, and we've got a little more light in here for sure, because there's walls down. The car, we wanted to get the car out hopefully so we could clean more effectively in the garage, but the tires are flat, and we checked with our supervisor and the owner, and maybe they suggested we not move it, so we'll have to work around it.
Okay, I'll use you three guys. I'll take your strength for about 15 minutes. The back room, washer, dryer, but let's not worry about those yet. Work around them, because the washer again has water in it. Okay.
Look at the panels on those doors. Aren't they beautiful? Panels. The wheat is something. I'm staying put. Good for them. I would say 1900s, late 1800s, these houses.
Basically just cleaning up the houses. A lot of them have been untouched. This one had been gutted, like most of the furniture and stuff, but we still found a lot of garbage, and they had like a shed in the back. What we found in the back was letters from their engagement. We also found the mass invitation, which was from April 5th, 1986. We found a photo of the woman on her wedding day. We found her wallet with all of her credit cards and important information in there. But the most ironic thing I think we found was this prayer book that has been stuck like this, and it's Psalm 23, and the first sentence is, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And I think that's very appropriate for what has happened here. And this will be something they'll be able to keep with them forever, to always remember what happened and the fact that people came here to help them. And this will just stay within their family for a long time, I think.
Start to finish, we took all of yesterday, about 2 hours today, and we had to stop this house because of a hazard that we found on the ground here. It's an old oil furnace, and not even knowing that it's there, and somebody taking up the subfloor and breaching it, we could have been in a lot more trouble than anticipated.
Threatening to call Homeland Security and report Western Union.
Kids are becoming a lot more sensitive to keepsakes. There's a pile for this, a pile for that, and a pile for that, and there's a pile for recoverables. Might the owner like this if the owner was sitting here talking to me? And so we're going to put them aside. They're paying a little bit more attention to those types of things.
Today was taking down the walls that we didn't get to yesterday, tiles, the bathrooms, which isn't too much fun, and the bugs. There are certain parts of the wall near the kitchen that when a person would hit the wall,
it'd be like a waterfall of cockroaches, and that wasn't too much fun.
Well, today at our house we didn't meet the owner, so it wasn't more like emotionally, but you could still sense that people were realizing that this was someone's living and someone grew up here and someone raised children here.
We lost something today, and it happened too early in the day. Very quickly in the morning, we walked into the kitchen and we found a Bible, and the kids realized right away that it was a Bible. And I think they made they did want to keep it, but we had found it so quickly we hadn't found our redeemable pile yet. And I think what happened was one of the kids put it on the hood of the truck. It was mistaken as a piece of garbage, and I think now it's at the bottom of our pile, because it was another hour or so when somebody said, "Where's the Bible?" So our kids are becoming more sensitive to, you know, what do we keep for this family if we don't have the owner right beside us now?
Well, it's day 3, and we're pretty much the only group that's had 3 days in the same house. Right now, we've got most of the drywall off. We're sort of worrying about taking all the nails out and making sure that all the insulation's down from the rafters and everything too. It's taken a lot more time than I guess we originally anticipated, but you know, it's coming along. It's still a huge mess, and we're working on it. So, plugging away at it, I guess. I think now that we've been here for 3 days, there's sort of like an attachment to it. Like, you know, we want to get this one done just to say we got this house done and we did it perfectly. So I think that's what we're really concerned with now. You know, instead of trying to rush through it and get to another house and just say, well, you know, we didn't just do one house, we got 2. So, you know, we're sort of leaning away from the competition idea and just making sure we do it right the first time.
This is the house I grew up in. I had 4 brothers and myself. My mom, my dad, and my dad's parents, his mother and father lived with us. And we've been here for about, I'm going to say 50 years. And this is the first hurricane that we got water in the house. Even for Hurricane Betsy and Camille, there was no water in the house. This was the first time. So it's a new experience, but we're making it through.
We've met the owner's daughter, so they have been the parents have been back to the house, and all the valuables are taken out. So pretty much it's just the dirty work that's left. We got to take care of the roofs. They're pretty hard to get to. They're pretty solid. Debris flying everywhere. And it's a mess in there. We're working hard.
So it's day 3 on the site. We're on our second house. We're really excited about it. This is the house of a 62-year-old man, and he is living in Texas right now. We've gone through the house and we've torn down most of the walls. We're working on the ceiling. We've emptied out all of his stuff. As you see, we don't have a great big garbage pile because garbage man came by this morning and got rid of it for us. We're really excited. There was a severe weather warning and we thought we might have to stop at lunch, but we're excited we get to finish the house, and we think we're going to finish it. And we see this man and everything. And we tore down one of the walls. He had written his grandson's name, Raymond, on the wall, and his grandson was copying how to write his name, and he learned how to write it on the wall in the back. Same with his numbers. We found numbers written by a small boy, possibly Raymond, written on the wall as well. So this is his home. This is his family's home where he took care of himself and his grandkids and everything else. And we really, really want to finish it up for him, for this community, so that everyone can get back, and for his grandkids, so they can come back to the house where their grandpa takes care of them, where they have fond memories.
The Jefferson Parish side of the canal held, but if you look to your left, you see the pilings, that long line of pilings, and that's where the 17th Street Canal broke. And everything flooded into Orleans Parish. The water level was just as high as these retaining walls are, and the retaining wall was undermined and eaten out from underneath. The dark brown is the break, and when it broke, it was like a river coming through here.
12, 15 feet deep. And every one of these houses were underwater for weeks and weeks and weeks.
I think we were the first people in this general neighborhood to come back. And it was really depressing out here too during that time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now there's a lot of noise. You can hear the crew over there rebuilding that house. But it was so quiet at first. It was like living in the country. Yeah. It was strange. And no street lights, you know. We were kicking ourselves for months that if we would have moved more things upstairs. And like my wife had this big chest of, both her parents are dead and one of her sisters. And so, you know, family pictures and albums and things like that. We set it on top of our dining room table, but the water came up, you know, just like 6 inches to the bottom of it, and then wicked water into everything and ruined it. So that was probably the worst loss. You know, everything else is replaceable, but that stuff.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
They're memories. And memories you can't get back.
Right. Yeah, and it was hard on her too because, you know, their family that's gone. So.
Right.
So I think it made the loss that much harder on her.
Exactly.
We had a short day today because of the weather. Today we finished up our second house. We finished the bathroom and took out every wall and took out everything. So like you go in there, nothing, just wood holding the house up. It just keep running through my mind every time I see a picture or every time I saw a poster with LeBron James and other famous players, and I saw some Pokemon cards and saw that very little kid that lost their homes.
The thing that seems to come over more and more and more is their surprise at the people who are saying thank you to them. There's kind of an understanding, I suppose, on a student's part that if they meet the homeowner is going to say thank you, and they understand that. And even if the homeowner says it each time they see them in a new day. But they're being surprised by people who drive by in a car and stop and say, I want to thank you all for helping us. At our site, I didn't see it, but one of the girls said the mail carrier stopped and said, thank you for what you're doing. You don't have to, and we appreciate it. One group spoke of going over to the local McDonald's to use the washroom. And when they came out of the washroom, an elderly couple had said to them, if you're going to work for nothing, we're going to pay for your food. You shouldn't have to pay for your food. And so Sylvia Skrepichuk, one of the teachers, had actually ordered food while the girls were in the washroom. And the couple were behind Sylvia, and he said, we'll pay for that. And she said, no, I'll pay for that. He said, no, if you're going to come down here and do work for us, you shouldn't have to pay for your own food. So we'll pay for it. And that's when the girls come out of the washroom, and he said, and we'll pay for them as well. Have whatever you want off the menu. What impressed the adults associated with that is the kids said, okay, thank you, well, I'll just have a small fry. As opposed to, okay, supersize me, baby, if you're going to do that. The things we're hearing about the kids and the relationship that simply wearing these coveralls is making is really something.
At the end of our day today, we did something pretty special. We all went back into the house and kind of took one last tour around and stood together in one of the rooms. Dottie came to see us, and John suggested that if we all said our names, maybe our names would stay in the house and go up into the rafters and sort of live there with the people if they ever did come back. So that felt kind of nice, thinking about our role that we had in helping them out with all of the damage that was done and all of the tragedy that they'd been through. So hopefully in some small way we will stick with that house and stick with the people who choose to live there, if it's the same people or if it isn't. But it was a great feeling, a real feeling of accomplishment, seeing it through from start to finish, walking in there yesterday and seeing an absolute catastrophe and walking out of there today and seeing something that could possibly turn into a new home for a family. So it was good. Day 3 was good. Tomorrow, new house. So we're excited, for sure.
Both mine. Fine. 11.
I think
This is going to be done on time. Come in and have a look at what we've accomplished. There was a fireplace in that corner that we had to knock down all the brick.
Yeah, well, guess what? I crawled up here before, and see how wide these things are? This is how I know I have a wide bottom. I climbed up and I got stuck and I couldn't get back down, so I probably had to pull my feet. It was ridiculous.
I feel privileged to have people like the young people taking their time out from their spring break or whatever, and Catholic Church, whoever's sponsoring this, to come out and assist me in doing what I can't do. Every little bit helps because I need everything I can get because, as you see, I need everything. God is carrying me. I'm not walking myself through this. When I look back over from 18 months ago, from when this thing really happened, I only see one set of footprints, and I know it's not mine. I face this every day. I wake up every morning, I look out here, and I see my house like this. And there's nothing I can do about it. That's heartbreaking. But my friends, they keep me encouraged. They say, well, Ethel, don't worry about it. Say, in due time, you'll be able to do something about it. So just take a day at a time. Say, sometimes take a minute at a time. Take an hour at a time. You know, whatever you have to do, just get to it. And that's what I've been doing. Sometimes I have to take a minute at a time because it just get that tight, you know, get that rough. And a day at a time, yeah, I can't look beyond a day because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
You know, I guess 4 days wasn't really nearly enough because, you know, the progress you made, even from day 1 to day 2, was the same from day 2 to day 3, and it was the same from day 3 to day 4. And just the progress that people made, not only as individuals, but as a group, was just so mind-boggling. So it would have been really interesting to see if a couple of weeks more would have had a greater impact. But I think for the 4 days that we were working, it's just astronomical, the change that's occurred.
I kind of feel like I've really helped someone and that I've made, like, conquered challenges along the way and made new friends because I didn't expect that. There was a lot of work, like just tearing the walls down, doing the little things. I didn't expect so many little things, like pulling out nails, sweeping a lot, just doing everything, all the little things that we had to do that besides just tearing down walls.
11 houses finished. Work's over. Work's over. Really successful. I think kids all feel really excited. And the key piece is that that group that might have been concerned that they weren't getting as much done because they had been in the same house for 3 days, they got moved and they got an opportunity to go to a building that they completed today. Having listened to people here, when my concern was that here we are 18 months after the hurricane, is there going to be enough work for us to do? Is our gesture still appropriate after all this time? Their response is New Orleans is still several years away from being back to normal. Being here now, I guess I'm saying to myself, well, now I understand why they're saying that. Because they wouldn't fabricate things. They don't want people to come down here just to come down. They want people to come down because there's a need for them to be here. So if they say another 2 years, having seen what I've seen, I guess I believe them.
Each group would probably only get to 2.5 houses, but the fact that we were able to do 11 houses, like we came down here, I don't think anyone expected to do that many, but like, because we didn't know what we were getting into, so we had no idea how many houses we were going to get done or what it was like. But just our group alone getting 4 houses done out of the 11 was just amazing. Like, I just think everyone is so proud that we got 11 houses done. It's something that is amazing and that we helped so many people.
I think that today was probably the hardest, but also the most rewarding day out of all the other days. It was hardest because we were all exhausted from all the days before and all the working that we'd been doing, but it was very rewarding because we knew that we had accomplished what we had came to New Orleans to do and that it was finally finished and we had done what we intended.
Personally, I'm ready for another week of this. I mean, there's something about a day of work that you feel satisfied with, you know, that you're further along than you were at the beginning of the morning. And that's sort of a neat feeling, I think. So, you know, after the first couple of days, the excitement is gone and it's work. And all you have to look forward to is that feeling of accomplishment at the end of the day. And that's something that you learn to strive towards. And I guess in that sense, I want to feel more of that because it's a good feeling. And knowing that you're doing it for a just cause just totally adds to it. So I could go for a lot more than 4 days.
I don't know what questions you have, but I'll be glad to answer any. I got to move on, of course, after a while myself. I got to make a living too, you know. you never get through that no matter how old you are. And I'm only 93, so of course I still have to go to work. You people are probably interested in the time when I was in Washington, D.C., and therefore I took care of Kennedy. From the very beginning, we had this agreement that if you want to ask me a question, fine. And we became friendly, of course. And therefore, I did know him very well and was tremendously shocked by his death. And it was his wife who absolutely insisted that I give the sermon. Jackie, as a matter of coincidence, I was at her funeral too. I was at the funeral of Bobby, who got killed, you know. And I was there too when we reinterred the two children who died shortly after birth, the two children of Jack and Jackie. And so they're all in the same plot in Arlington Cemetery. In my opinion, and let me also tell you too that in World War II, I was a chaplain for the 82nd Airborne, they're the paratroopers. And we always felt a very great kinship with the Canadian forces. I don't know if you know it, but the Canadians used to do what we thought was a dirty work for the English, that is, the attack on Dieppe was a thing that was carried out by the Canadians. It was a test to find out how tough it would be to invade the mainland, to invade Europe. And it was the Canadians who did that. And we, being combat troops, paratroopers, we've always admired, you know, the soldiers in the Allied countries who were like us. And we always thought very, very highly of the Canadians. Thank God for the Canadians. We'll always be their friends. We know, too, that they will be our friends, too. So that's the way you're doubly welcome here, not only because you're generous and gracious enough to come down and help us out, but also because you're Canadians.
So again, we're here this morning. We're assembled here because Notre Dame has a presentation to make to us, and would like to call upon Coach Hughes at this time to make that presentation.
We decided months ago when we made the plans to come down here that we didn't want to just bring our bodies and our energy. We wanted to bring something that we could leave behind with you to help you in your rebuilding process. We will be sending, as soon as we get home, a check to Mr. Kiefer for $7,500.
Cougars on 3, 1, 2, 3. Cougars!
Got crawfish with all kinds of spices, corn, lemon, carrots, all kinds of vegetables. We cut up the onion in half, garlic, cloves.
When it floats flat, it's gone.
Get back here. 1 second, I gotta find a napkin. I'm dying here. I've got
crawfish. Let's get the basics out. Take the crawfish. You take the head, yeah, and the tail. You twist it. Well, then you suck the head. I don't know suck the head. Okay, and then you take the first part of the tail, the shell, and then you go up like that. And then you squeeze the tail, and then you twist it out.
to give them the lesson how you do it. I was trying to sneak it.
Once you're on me, you want to see something cool? Look at this. Tell me. Bye. It's live. May I say something?
Hang on.
It's gone. My dad's gonna be so jealous. That's all I have to say.
With the carrots.
I guess in the end, we owe a lot to Dottie. The trip obviously wouldn't have been the same without her. And she put a lot of effort and a lot of her own time into giving us this experience. And you know, whatever we gained personally from this and as a group, we owe all to Dottie. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dottie.
It's a hurricane!
Yes!
It's a hurricane!
Yes!
Oh, listen, honey, I know the symbol for a hurricane. Oh, that is gorgeous!
But the bottom line is we went to New Orleans last year and did just what y'all did. And as hard as it was, as tough as it was the most rewarding experience of our lifetime. Now the Canadian flag that y'all gave us today is just going to stay with us forever and ever and ever. And we can't thank y'all enough for coming down. Y'all live so far away, yet like Coach Hughes says, miles are nothing. And it's proven that what y'all done coming down here, spending y'all vacation, which I've heard at last St. Genevieve last week. Y'all raised money to come down here. There's just no better gift. They got people that y'all worked for this week that were just very, very distraught. And sometimes if you ever had a chance to meet some of the owners, I don't know if y'all have or not, they just don't know which way to go. And just what y'all was able to do, it just might be just what they need, just the inspiration they need to hang on. So thank y'all for coming. And y'all don't have to leave if y'all ready to leave.
Hey, I just wanted to say to all you Canadian Cougars who came down to New Orleans and the people from Notre Dame as well, thank you so much. We appreciate your help, and what you're doing is really inspiring to a lot of people.
Before I came to New Orleans, I wasn't religious at all. My nanny and papa were both very religious, and I was very close to them. Like, the closest I've ever been to a person was with my nanny. They passed away a year apart on the same day, and after that my mom really got into the Catholic religion after that, and started going to Mass and everything like that, and started to try and get me to go to Mass. Me, on the other hand, I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't have that belief in me yet, especially after what had happened. So I didn't tell her, I didn't give her the forms in grade 8 to get me confirmed. I didn't tell her about that because I knew she'd make me do it, and I wasn't ready for it. So naturally, 4 years later, she won the fight, and I'm getting confirmed this year. I'm in grade 11. Even after that, I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy about it coming here, knowing I was getting confirmed. We'd fight about it all the time. But then after this experience, I'm ready to go home and tell her that I'm willing to get confirmed because I want to get confirmed, not because I have to get confirmed. Because after this experience, it just kicked into me how much God is a part of your life, how much these people lost, and how much they can still say, it's okay, like, I'm here, that's all that matters, and how the rest of their lives is going to be based on their religion and what they believe in. And I just found that it was hard not having that, and so I think by taking the next step, by getting confirmed when I get home, will kind of complete what kind of feelings I had before, and I think my nanny and papa was really proud of me. The one thing that I found that was it just got me going was in the cupboard. I was going through the cupboards and I found a pile of recipes, and I opened it up, and on the labels of them it said like grandma's recipes and stuff like that, and I started thinking to myself, if I had ever lost, everything goes back to my nanny and this experience, if I had ever lost, or even if my mom had ever lost any of my nanny's recipes, it would be horrible, because we still make them to this day. Like, if we have a bad day, we'll come home and my mom will make something of hers. Like, it's just something I just couldn't bear to lose.
I think it taught everyone a lesson about what could happen, and I think it also taught everyone that they can bring hope to other people just by showing up and showing that they care. It started a lot harder than it ended. It began really hard because that was lifting out personal things, like just couches, lifting out a couch that that she sat on, and that was hard. But once it came to the second house that we did, it was a lot easier because we knew everyone and we were friends with everyone. And I think the second house was also a lot easier for me because I didn't meet the homeowner. So I didn't get to talk to her, and I didn't get to see how she reacted to things being taken out of her house. And the second house didn't have any furniture in it, so that was a lot easier too because it was just tearing down walls and we didn't get to see any of their personal belongings. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad because I'm gonna be leaving everyone, and everyone just seems so comfortable around each other now that I hope that when we go back to school it's the same way and we get to talk to each other the same way, but I'm excited to see everyone back at home.
It was harder than I thought. I just thought we'd be picking up trash. Actually did some work and got a lot done. It's pretty aggravating sometimes. I had to take a lot of breaks, more than I thought. I thought I was in pretty good shape. I have new respect for the people who actually do that work. Taking home a new sense of hard work, obviously, but more of a sense of compassion for those people. Actually being in their houses, I can't imagine my house looking like that. It's just ridiculous, like, especially since they had to wait so long for someone to come help them. So I'm taking, like, I actually know what it feels like now to go through that. So that's what I'm taking back home with me. I always fear that I'm gonna forget these people, 20, 50, whenever years from now. And now I think that I'm always gonna remember this. So in a way, we'll always be connected through this. And I'll always remember everyone on this bus. And I'm really happy about that.
A bucket. My dinner came with a bucket, and I don't think I was supposed to keep it, but I wanted it, so I took it anyways. Yeah, so I got myself a bucket. That's what I like most that I got. I also got from my dad a bald man's hairbrush. And it's pretty funny because it's just a piece of wood, so just brushes.
What a week. I'm so proud of everyone.
One word, successful.
Oh, that's good.
I did.
I was on Jumbotron.
We are the Katrina Cougars.
Yay.
You guys are soft.
Team
I want to say that we went there to get one house, but we left with so much more. We left with friendships, memories, and so much more.
I have made more friends in 1 week than I ever did in my life.
Trip of a lifetime.
Thank you very much. You may do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Clarissa.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Caitlin. Good luck, buddy. I'll see you.
I didn't realize what you were bringing. I know that you brought the hope, but you brought something else to us. You came and said, I'll help you. I'll help you face it. I'll give you courage. I'll give you hope. I can't begin to tell you what this week has meant to me. It has been wonderful to drive up and not recognize you in your nice, spiffy, clean hazmat suits because they are so dusty and so dirty and the sweat is running down your faces. But as the sweat runs, you smile. And what you gave us this week was priceless. I love you all, and I thank you all, and you will always have a place in my home and in my heart. Don't forget. Thank you so much.
Kevin Jorgensen.
Chris Parr.
Chris Mueller.
Corey Garofalo.
Eric Bachmeyer.
Sylvia Skrupchuk. Andrea Sheridan.
Maureen McMorrow.
Matthew D'Souza.
Katrine Lindsay Marin.
Clive DeHonring.
Elio Romano.
Krista Valadeo. Brooke Sawyer. Caitlin Plurd.
G. Julian.
Aaron Watson.
David Delgado.
Dottie Bourgeois.
Aaron Karamath.
Andrew Boateng. Matt Mueller. Kyle DeBellet.
Mark Bachmeyer.
Daryl Gonzalez.
Ryan Bachmeyer.
Brian Dirksen.
Bryce Ben.
Coach Brian Hughes.
Kevin Bell.
Chris Watson.
Jamal Jordan.
Willard Amaral.
Owen Eccleton.
Mike O'Reilly.
Matthew Collins.
Terrence Boateng.
Kim Daly.
Pete Andrew.
Leanne Collins.
Father Dave Norris.
Damon Charles.
Vincent Fecto.
Elisa Santanko.
Michael Maloney.
Jason Pearson. Sean Ford.
Ryan O'Leary.
Matthew Provenzano.
Joanna Romani.
Jessica Romani.
Robbie Rhines.
Diane Dias.
Tom Partlow.
Mary Thompson Richards.
Tasha Nimmo.
Danielle Douglas.
Deanna Nitsopoulos.
Dawn DeMonte. Samantha Rayo.
Emily Daly.
Amanda Cook.
Meredith Rhymes.
Jessica Booth.
Samantha Alvin.
Frank Gorange.
Steve Jowett.
Matt Hazel.
The Katrina Cougars.
Katrina Cougars.
The 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 Katrina Cougars.
And my number is 11.
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 11.
My number is 11.
My number is 11.
11.
And my number is 11.
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 My number is 905-649-1314.
11.
I've seen to ensure that I've been allowed to play along, even though sometimes I'm wrong. And now I find myself in search of things that ring within me, because I feel the dying of a heart, once strong, once a part of you, now gone. In the step, how can I go on? I'm alive, but nobody's known. Left my heart to the stone. I'm alive, but nobody's home. A winner never quits. And a quitter never wins. Never give up. Never give up. And beloved, believe you me. No, repeat that.